Hello viewers, happy to see you again. Hope you are doing good. In this video, we are going to learn about non-cooperation movement and its impact. The non-cooperation movement, led by Mahatma Gandhi, was the first national-wide mass protest in the history of Indian independence. The Indian experiment of the non-cooperational movement of 1920 to 1922 was undertaken by the Indian National Congress under the leadership and direction of Gandhi. During the Great War in 1914 to 1918, that is World War I, British imposed censorship on the press and permitted imprisonment without trial. Sir Sidney Rowlatt recommended that British should continue these rules even after the World War ended. The national cooperation movement took a hike after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar in the year 1919, when British officer General Regiland Edward Henry Dyer led a troop and killed 400 innocent Indians, including women, children, and elderly. Gandhiji was horrified by the brutal mass killing of the British government and started the non-cooperation movement, and it reached high because of Rowlatt Act. That act is against the martial law in Punjab and the neglection of a khilafat committee, as well as high price of commodities, drought, and epidemic. The non-cooperation movement was launched formally on 1st August 1920, the day on which Lokmanya Tilak breathed his last. Steps taken by the Indians against the British rule, especially during this non-cooperation movement. The northern and western states of the country were raging with anger, especially the men in Punjab, because of martial law was being implemented, as many of them fought for the British in the Great War and were been expecting rewards from the British government. Unfortunately, they turned deaf. Therefore, they were deeply disappointed and angry with the imposition of the Rowlatt Act. The Indians who wanted to end the colonial rule were asked to stop attending British schools, college, and law courts, and asked not to pay taxes. According to the official figure, there were 396 strikes held by Indians in 1921 involving 6 lakh workers and a loss of 7 million workdays. After a series of events including the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Gandhiji realized that there was no prospect of getting any fair treatment at the hands of British. So, he planned to withdraw the nation's cooperation from the British government, thus launching the non-cooperational movement and thereby marching the administrative setup of the country. This movement was a great success, and it got massive encouragement to millions of Indians. This movement almost shook the British authorities. Thereby, Indians started their own companies. They started welcoming all local companies. Indian textile industry started blooming, and they started importing goods from India, and many of the British industries were closed because we decided, the nation decided not to work with British government. Khadi was promoted at the large scale, and this was the greatest success. Especially Gandhiji realized that nation can do better without the help of the British government, and this helped people. The non cooperation movement helped people to understand their own power and their own energy. Even though this movement was very successful and people were well organized, the non cooperation movement came to an end in the month of February 1922. On February 1922, a police station of Chaura near Uttar Pradesh was attacked by a mob of peasants. The mob burned the police station, and in those, nearly 22 policemen died. This violent event disturbed the soul of Gandhi, and he ordered for the immediate suspension of the program, where this national cooperation movement came to an end because of such agitation and collapse.